What's good, beautiful people? It's your boy Urkelace back here on Beautifultoronto.ca. Today on the show we have a Canadian actress, singer, songwriter. You probably know her from Degrassi. She used to kick it with Aubrey before he became Drake. Today on the show, guys, we have Andrea Lewis, and I hope you enjoy the interview.
I started as a toddler. My mom was approached by a casting director when we were in Yorkdale Mall. I was about a year old, and she wasn't really sure about it. Took the card though. The next year she was on maternity leave with my brother, so she had the time. So she called the same casting woman and just was like, do you remember? And she did, and we came in, and I started doing commercials and then magazines and catalogs, and I just happened to like it. So I just stayed. I actually think Toronto's a good city to grow up in as an entertainer. For me, it was, at least, especially when I was a kid. It was kind of a booming city in the sense of like everybody was filming here. So I was always working as a child. Degrassi has this legacy of being this big Canadian show from the 80s. How they were doing the spin-off basically was one of the characters on the 80s show now had a child who was going to be in grade 7 or 8, something like that, and so they were starting this new series. Just before really finding out about Degrassi, I had booked a movie with Disney called Cadet Kelly. So I started doing that instead, and I filmed that for the whole summer. And then when I finished filming that, my agent called me and was like, oh, you know, Degrassi, they've already started filming, but they wanted to know if you would come on as a recurring character, as this character Hazel. They wrote it for you, and so I said, okay. And that was the first season. And then by second season, I was a full-time character on the show. Pursuing music and being on the show was something I always did. I don't prefer one over the other. People ask me this literally all the time, always to pick one, and I can't pick one, and I finally have given myself permission to not pick one. That I am an artist, I am an entertainer, I do both. You have so many artists that just copy whatever is out. They just try to be whatever they think is popular or whatever they think will get them noticed, and I don't think that works. I personally think you have to find what makes you you, what makes you unique. That is always interesting to me, and I've always done that since I was a young girl, that whenever I talk to songwriters, I'm like, I'm trying to write about love, but not like the typical, and that's just me. So I find for any artist that I talk to, I'm always like, you know, find what makes you you. Like, don't just try to be what everybody else is. Just try to do something that's fresh and that's very unique to you. Being good friends with Aubrey, he's always been a fan of music, and we always talked about music. So his success is not unexpected to me. I knew that he would get to that level.
Got me running in the street lights, shadow dancing on the skyline. Gotta make it to you in time, trying to keep my steps in line.
Black Actress is my web series. I wrote it, produced it, and I star in it. And I had this idea maybe 5 years ago, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. I always was like, oh, maybe it'll be a short, maybe it'll be a feature. I'm not really sure. I'll wait till life kind of comes together. We started pitching it just to production companies just to see what different people would think, and Issa was one of the people that we pitched it to. And she just really liked it. She thought it fit her channel, fit her style of comedy. And so I felt like if I'm gonna put something out on the web, especially something that has the name Black in the title, who not better to, you know, go with than Issa Rae, who has already had her own popularity from her own web series, Awkward Black Girl.
I just love it. Okay, thank you. Next!
When I first moved to LA, it was maybe 2006. And at that time, you didn't meet very many people that knew much about Toronto. People were just kind of getting to know it now. But now that we've had Aubrey, we've had Justin Bieber, we've had all these people who have made a name for themselves, I find Toronto has become like that place. Like, you know, when I was in high school, it was like Atlanta was the place. Now, Toronto is that place.
Let's go, 1, 2, 3, Beautifultoronto.ca! Yeah!
Any city I go to, you know, I never find them to be as diverse as this city. And just the people here, I think, have a certain energy, a certain pride for their cultures, no matter what their culture is. And I think that stuff is very beautiful. And that's kind of what makes us a unique city in that sense that, you know, LA is not like that. New York is very diverse, but, you know, Toronto is just like, we are very, very proud of, in a sense, you know, a lot of us being first generation Canadians, or our parents are immigrants, like people are, it's just what makes us who we are. So I like Toronto for that. I also like Toronto because it's clean. It's genuinely a clean place, and you take that for granted going to other cities, that Toronto is the cleanest city I've ever been to. Hi, I'm Andrea Lewis, and you are now tuned in with Beautifultoronto.ca. Join us as we rediscover Toronto.
See you guys next time. It's your boy Urkelace signing out for Beautifultoronto.ca.